Tonight on Newswatch, members of the rival government file a new lawsuit against the charter government in Nelsonville.
Plus,
I struggle with it every day.
Father of the deadly Georgia school shooter testifies in court.
And in sports, playoffs have started in high school basketball, and several teams in the TVC have started their push towards a state championship. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening, I'm Serenity Prophet.
And I'm Josh Herner. Welcome to Newswatch. But before we get into our top stories for the night, let's take it over to our weather forecaster, Zach Farnell, for a first look at the weather. Zach, the sun came out earlier today, bringing spring feels. Is that going to stick around?
Yeah, just like you said, that sun came out and it brought some very warm temperatures with it. Thankfully, we are going to be sticking around in those pretty spring-like temperatures tomorrow, but for now, enjoy it while you can, because later in the weekend, it will turn to a little bit of rain. You're seeing here early on the satellite loop some clouds present across the Ohio River Valley, even some fog if you were able to wake up early enough to see that. But as the sun came out and warmed up our temperatures, it's allowed these clouds to burn off entirely. And then as those clouds burn off, it allows those temperatures to warm up even further. And that's why today, seeing temperatures in those mid-upper 50s here across the Ohio River Valley, down a little bit further south towards the Ohio River itself, nearly 60 degrees. Tonight, it's going to be a bit of a chillier one compared to the daytime highs, cooling off by about 20 degrees. So you're seeing temperatures just below 40 here, with some pretty clear skies sticking around, not just tonight, but also in tomorrow. Weather's so nice, why don't we do it twice? Here we go tomorrow, just about a rinse and repeat of today. A few degrees warmer, maybe some 60s across the area, but generally it's going to be very warm. But here we go. Those overnight lows going to begin to creep down towards freezing, so stick around for my full weather forecast to see just how cold it could get as we get Sunday and into Monday.
Thanks, Zach. A new lawsuit argues the city council in Nelsonville, operating under the city's charter, violated the state constitution when it came to repeal a citizen-led initiative passed by voters.
It stems from the ongoing legal turmoil around Issue 23, passed by voters in 2024 to switch to a strong mayor form of government. Elected officials spent most of 2025 trying to figure out how to transition government forms, but then in August, the council abruptly voted to repeal Issue 23. But by that time, candidates running under both the charter and the strong mayor form of government were already set to be on the November ballot. The lawsuit filed on behalf of those elected under the strong mayor government argues they are unable to take over running the city because charter government members refuse to give up their positions.
A GOP lawmaker wants to introduce a bill to pull funding from public universities and colleges for failing to comply with Senate Bill 1. Senate Bill 1, signed into law, bans most diversity programs and faculty strikes, also requires, quote, intellectual diversity on certain subjects and a civics course focused on United States history and the free market. Faculty and professors opposing this bill says this move politicizes higher education and threatens the stability and reputation of Ohio's colleges and universities.
A new state program expands free eye care access to school children across the state. 15 counties, including Jackson and Ross counties, designated as high need, are part of the pilot program Ohio See. According to the American Optometric Association, 1 in 4 school-aged children have vision troubles, which can affect learning. The $10 million program provides comprehensive eye care, glasses, and exams inside schools or through mobile vision vans. Right now, Vinton County is the only Ohio county with no optometrists.
The Ohio Environmental Protection Agency released a draft for a new permit that would allow data centers across the state to release untreated storms and wastewater directly into rivers and streams. The new permit would apply to water that circulates through all current or future data centers, regardless of location. Though the permit is not yet approved, some still worry that the impact would not only affect the environment, but also Ohioans will carry the cost. Officials say this large fire at the Fine Oaks Farm in Madison County killed about 6,000 pigs earlier this week. They say responding crews found 2 buildings engulfed in flames on the property outside Columbus. These photos show the large plume of smoke they encountered. Officials say it took about 5 hours to subdue the blaze amid strong winds and a limited rural water supply. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Ohio ranks at the top of the list for the most anti-LGBTQ incidents in 2025, according to GLAAD. GLAAD is a nonprofit that advocates for inclusive representation and tracking hate towards LGBTQ communities, physical or verbal, for the past 4 years. Within the year, there were 50 incidents from Ohio. GLAAD shows 5 incidents of vandalism or property damage, 3 of arson, and multiple threats of violence. Tracking shows 18 of those 50 incidents were, quote, propaganda drops by white supremacist organizations.
The father of Georgia's school shooter takes the stand to testify in his own defense today. Colin Gray, the father of Colt Gray, pled not guilty to nearly 30 charges against him, including second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. Ivan Rodriguez has the latest.
I struggle with it every day.
An emotional Colin Gray testifying in his own defense.
The Colt I knew and relationship I had, there's this whole other side of Colt I didn't know existed.
Prosecutors argue Gray was criminally reckless when he bought his teenage son an AR-15 style rifle and allowed him unsecure access to the weapon despite warnings that his son was a danger to others.
He respected the weapon. We didn't have him in a safe. We didn't, have locks on them as we've all seen here today. But I'm telling you that he had a healthy respect for weapons.
Video released during the trial shows Colt Gray's movements through Appalachia High School on the day of the attack. The now 16-year-old has pleaded not guilty to 55 felony counts, including 4 counts of malice murder. The teen has admitted to the shooting, according to authorities.
I've never seen that video until yesterday. He's a good kid.
Gray says introducing his son to hunting helped their relationship.
It helped him and I just get that father-son bonding.
Earlier this week, jurors heard 2 lengthy police interrogations of Gray after the shooting. He told an investigator his son's behavior had escalated and become more aggressive in the previous 5 to 7 months, and that he signed paperwork with the school to get him into counseling. I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Questions are brewing after a photograph that appears to show Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick alongside Jeffrey Epstein was briefly removed from the Justice Department's website. The image was posted in the department's online repository of Epstein-related files, uploaded in late January under the Epstein Files Transparency Act. The page is now restored, and Lutnick did not comment on the image. Several members of Congress are asking for answers about the temporary removal of the image.
New analysis show ICE agents receive significantly less training than other federal agents. Under the Trump administration, ICE deportation officers receive 42 days of training. That's less than half of the training received during the Biden administration. The information comes after a former U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement lawyer Ryan Swart told lawmakers the ICE training program is deficient, defective, and broken. ICE responded saying no initial content is left out and training now runs 12 hours instead of 8.
Federal employees begin to feel the impacts of the partial government shutdown as TSA agents might receive only a portion of their next paycheck. TSA union leaders expressed concerns over the matter, saying many employees already struggle financially. About 61,000 TSA employees must remain on the job to keep the more than 430 commercial U.S. airports open during a shutdown. The smaller paychecks will be the last that many DHS employees receive until Congress finds a way to fund the department for the fiscal year, which ends September 30th.
Medical experts are debating President Trump's executive order to protect the national supply of widely used herbicide glyphosate. The decision inflamed many advocates of the Make America Healthy Again movement who have pressed for more strategic evaluation or even bans of such products. Pediatricians and professors at Boston College, Dr. Philip Landrian, says children are the most vulnerable when exposed.
It's a known hazard to public health, and as a pediatrician, it really concerns me to see this chemical coming through in foods like corn that make their way into breakfast cereals.
Although the US EPA and the EU's Food Safety Authority have not found a link to cancer, the World Health Organization has classified glyphosate as a protocarcinogen.
Performing arts tribute ceremony, the Kennedy Center Honors will receive a new name. From now on, the annual awards show will be called the Trump Kennedy Center Honors. The change reflects the recent renaming of the institution to include the president. Today, officials confirmed that the ceremony will move to a different venue when the building closes in July for a 2-year renovation. That new location is yet to be determined, but it will likely be smaller.
Coming up, a surge in measles cases has doctors across the country scrambling for answers.
And American retail chain Walmart accused of deceiving their delivery drivers about their pay.
And it's been warm and sunny here in Athens today. Stick around after the break to find out when we could be seeing a storm system moving in next week.
The estate was drenched in chemicals. And so we started this extraordinary experiment.
Feels like you're moving back in time.
We can bring back life where there was no life before. It's the stuff of fairy tales in a way.
You are ready to go.
Did you get that? That is incredible.
We are a part of a revolution.
That, for me, is so exciting.
Regardless of your stage of life, whether you're starting your first job, getting the keys to a new home, or enjoying retirement, it's never too early or too late to create an estate plan to care for loved ones and support the causes that are meaningful to you. WOUB Public Media is pleased to have partnered with Giving Dogs, a free resource for building an estate plan that fits your needs and protects the people and causes you care about. Visit WOUB.org and click the support tab to get started today.
Well, it's been a beautiful spring-like day here in Athens and much of Southeast Ohio as a whole. Looking at a map of the entire United States, you can start to see why here across much of the Southeast, this low pressure system that gave us some of those rain showers earlier in the week. Even just a couple of days ago, we were talking about snow showers in the area. Crazy to think about that now as this high pressure has moved in and giving us very, very warm temperatures. And it's not just us dealing with these very nice conditions here. Look at these beautiful, warm, nice temperatures and colors painted across much of the United States here. That's been associated with those highs that have been coming in from the south this time. The one unfortunate piece of news you're seeing on this one map here, look up to the north and just how cold it gets up there. Thankfully, we're not going to be looking at temperatures in the teens next week, but some of this cold air will begin to sink in towards our region, giving us a chance of even some snow next week. For now, the only chilliness we need to worry about is overnight. Those lows last night got down to those upper 20s. Expecting to see some of the same tonight, likely not as chilly, but once the sun came out, we warmed up rapidly. Mid, upper 50s throughout the area. Again, it's going to be pretty similar tomorrow. For the daytime, it was very warm. For the nighttime, going to see a drop of about 20 degrees here. Mostly clear skies are the reason why. No clouds to act as a blanket, and so that warmth just radiates right off the earth. Down below 40 degrees, so bring a light jacket, maybe even a sweatshirt with you if you think you'll need it. And then tomorrow, rinse and repeat of today. Some morning clouds likely going to burn off, turn to a very, very nice day with temperatures in the upper 50s. Maybe some low 60s across the area. But here we go. As we look towards the future, this high pressure system stuck in our area tomorrow, so we're still looking at that very warm air mass but we're going to begin to see signs that things are going to change. This cold front sticking in our area tomorrow in towards tomorrow night. Although it's not moving through a lot right now, this high pressure system, by the time we get towards Sunday, Billy Joel style, it's moving out. Here comes this big low pressure system moving in, some rain, some ice, some snow. Not exactly sure how it'll set up right now. The one good piece of news from this is that the Climate Prediction Center says, yes, Southeast Ohio, it will be chilly and it will potentially be snowy beginning of next week as you get towards later in the week, especially for anyone at Ohio University's spring break. For everyone else, that starts around March 7th. That is when we will be seeing a big-time warm-up. This is the Climate Prediction Center's 8 to 14-day outlook. All the reds say it's going to be above average temperatures. So spring is in the air, not just for the short-term future, but also for the long term. For now, 62 tomorrow, a very nice day and a very nice way to start out your weekend. As we get towards Sunday, those mostly sunny skies turn to mostly cloudy skies. We cool off significantly as we get towards Monday. Chance of rain, snow, maybe even some ice in there as we look towards the beginning of your work week. A messy day on Monday turns into a rainy day on Tuesday, but as we get towards much of the rest of the week, we will slowly see those temperatures creep up as the Climate Prediction Center's nice forecast hopefully comes to fruition.
Thanks, Zach. New data shows an uptick in newly confirmed measles cases across the United States, with 9 active cases reported in Ohio. Mandy Gaither takes a look at the latest numbers and why experts fear further spread of this virus.
As of Thursday in the U.S., more than 1,100 confirmed measles cases have now been reported in 27 states in just the first 2 months of 2026. That's already 6 times more than is typically expected for an entire year.
Doctors are afraid of measles. Measles is incredibly scary in the sense that it is so contagious.
With spring break travel on the horizon, experts fear further spread of this highly contagious virus. Most of the confirmed cases this year are in those ages 5 to 19, with children under 5 being the age group with the next highest number of cases. The CDC says 92% of those measles infections were in those who were unvaccinated or their vaccination status was unknown.
At first, it can look like a cold. You can get a fever and a cough, red eyes, runny nose. But as you get more sick, 1 in 4 individuals, children who get measles, will end up hospitalized.
Dr. Sarah Nozel with the American Academy of Family Physicians says people exposed to measles can still catch the extremely contagious virus even if they're fully vaccinated against the disease. However, she says getting both doses of the vaccine significantly lowers risk of being infected. And if you do get sick, she says the illness isn't likely to be as severe as it could be in an unvaccinated person.
It's so critical that you get it because measles is actually so much more contagious than flu or COVID.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
More and more evidence about the impact of social media and the mental health of children and teens shows it can have the same effects as gambling or substance use disorders. Tamar Mendelson with the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health urges parents to monitor their child's social media usage and create a healthy digital balance.
Encouraging or requiring in-person activities can be more effective than simply banning social media because it offers concrete and hopefully enjoyable alternative.
Mendelson says social media can help young people find mental health support as well, as long as they're getting it from reputable sources.
Walmart will pay $100 million to settle allegations of misleading delivery drivers about base pay and tips. The Federal Trade Commission accuses the retail chain of falsely claimed an entirety of customers' tips would go to Sparks delivery drivers. The FTC is also requiring Walmart to implement an earnings verification program for drivers to increase transparency and accuracy around compensation. Next in sports, the playoffs are in full swing and we've already seen historic performances, upsets, and more. Hear about it next.
PBS viewers believe that businesses that sponsor PBS on WOUB Public Television have a commitment to quality and excellence. Sponsoring a PBS television program offers your business a unique opportunity to connect with a highly engaged, loyal, and trustful audience in a clutter-free environment, leading to increased brand awareness, positive perception, and potential for higher customer engagement. Your sponsorship is important to the community, and the rewards come back to you in the form of loyal customers. Align your organization with America's most trusted news and public affairs network. WOUB Public Television is worthy of your trust. Contact Corporate Support Director Kathy Malesic at 740-593-4909 or online at woub.org/support.
CasualWorks was not designed, created, or maintained by people who studied disability. They're people who studied opportunity. If a person has very limited movement and can make little teeny circles, there's a place for you. The idea of workers contorting themselves to a job is one business model. Our business model is that the job responds to the worker.
America. A wide open landscape where artisans use their creativity to push boundaries.
I love building things, putting things together.
It just, really warms my soul up. Holy smokes, man. Let's go.
The biggest secret to making anything is love.
Thursday at 8 on WOUB.
I'm here at Huntington High School as the Eastern boys are getting ready to face off against the Huntsmen. And it always hasn't been the best of times for Eastern so far this season, but when it comes to the playoff, none of that matters. The Eagles have a 7-5 record in the regular season, and they got the 13 seed with that. After not playing a game for 2 weeks, Eastern will finally get a chance to prove they are better than their record says. They've lost 9 games this season by 7 or less points. Eastern will face the 4-seed Huntington tonight, who has had a good season but has only beat one team with a winning record. The Eagles will also have the height advantage as the Huntsmen do not have a player over 6'2". But throw that all out the window, one loss and your season is over. Leading the charge for Eastern is senior Colton Lloyd, who was last year's Hardwood Heroes Player of the Year. Lloyd has continued to dominate, averaging 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocks, all while shooting over 50% from inside the arc. And another player who has had an incredible season is Carson Davis. Davis has been a force to be reckoned with this season and recently just made school history in a playoff win over Westfall. After reaching 1,000 career points earlier in the season, the senior checked off another milestone, surpassing 1,461 points to become Meg's all-time leading scoring leader. He has dominated the entire season and can lead his squad into the playoffs. The Marauders' next game will be against the 3-seed Washington Courthouse in the Convocation Center on Sunday night. Back to the hockey, and the Waterford boys will face a familiar opponent as they host Belpre tonight. Both of those matches their season have been tight. Waterford won the first meeting by 6. Then 2 weeks ago, the Golden Eagles got their revenge, winning by 5. Belpre's Malik Curry will be a player to look out for as he has been lethal from behind the arc this season. And then on the girls' side of the bracket, Belpre picked up a big upset over Colgrove, and the win sets the Golden Eagles up for a matchup for who else but Waterford. But unlike the boys, Waterford has straight up dominated in both of the previous matchups, winning by 18 and 21. But Belpre has found their groove, and Gracie Bills has been unstoppable on both sides of the floor. Bills reached 1,000 career points in the upset, and Belpre will need her to step up again if they are going to continue their Cinderella run. An established team that is already poised to make a deep run is the Eastern Girls. After winning just 4 games in the previous 2 seasons, the Lady Eagles have turned the program around, winning 17 games and getting the 1 seed. Oh yeah, and they're doing it with a first-year head coach and no seniors. After beating White Oak, they will face South Gallia tomorrow for the district championship. Kirsten Fackler is only a freshman, but has been the star of the show for the Lady Eagles. Fackler does a little bit of everything. She commands the offense, scoring 15 points a game, also grabs over 6 boards a game. She leads by example, is one of the main reasons for the culture change in Reedsville. So there's lots of good stories to follow along the TVC throughout the playoffs. So make sure to tune into episode 7 of Hardwood Heroes this Sunday night at 11 p.m. on WOUB and the WOUB YouTube channel. Back to you guys.
Still ahead, find out more on how you can congratulate the U.S. women's hockey team on their gold medal. Here's a look at what's coming up on your local television station.
Downton is a great house, and the Crawleys are a great family.
Do you know the new heir? He's Robert's third cousin.
I thought Lady Mary was the heir.
Girls can't inherit. Don't you care about Downton?
I've given my life to Downton.
I won't let them change me.
Why are you so against him?
He isn't one of us.
Welcome to Downton.
To be seen in the company of the illustrious Forsytes, who wouldn't leap at the chance? This is our moment. A golden opportunity.
They might speed you on your way to the fulfillment of your desires.
To love and be loved. To trust and be trusted. To dance.
It will be a dance.
Now streaming on the PBS app, the definitive collection from Emmy-winning scholar Henry Louis Gates Jr. From full seasons of Finding Your Roots.
These are your immigrant ancestors.
Oh my goodness.
To acclaimed documentaries.
Black Americans created a world behind the veil.
Discover the incredible history that connects us all. Stream the Henry Louis Gates Jr. collection now with Passport on the PBS app.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest until this happens.
Free all political prisoners. All power to the people. It's now time for America to wake up. Revolution is not a spectator sport. Silence is a noise too.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
There is now a hotline to congratulate the U.S. women's hockey team on their gold medal. The PR firm Jennifer Beck Communications and Cosmopolitan got the idea to start the hotline after the team won the gold medal in Milan last week. The men's team also won a gold medal a few days later, and President Trump called to congratulate and invite them to the White House. On the call, he said if he didn't invite the women, he would, quote, probably be impeached. Fans can call the number on their screen to congratulate the team, including Athens native and team goaltender Gwyneth Phillips. So that was certainly a great accomplishment for them. But Tyler, moving over to the weather, I know you talked about the overnight lows being kind of low. Are those going to dip up anytime soon, or are we still going to have to bring a hoodie when we go outside at night?
Definitely, I think over the next few days until maybe even late next week, expect to bring a hoodie, maybe even a light jacket as we get towards later in the weekend. Tonight, a little bit chilly after a nice warm day, and then look towards Sunday and Monday. It's going to be probably downright cold altogether. So tonight, those temperatures going to dip down into those upper 30s here. Mostly clear skies are why that's happening here. You're seeing a lot of cloud cover that allows the insulation of those temperatures. We're seeing none of that. All those clouds will be dissipated as we head over the night tonight, and so that heat will radiate off the surface, cooling us down very quickly. After tonight, we are going to see a continual cool down until Monday. In the meantime, though, enjoy the warmth while you can. It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow to begin your weekend. Temperatures in those low 60s with very, very sunny skies, pretty much a repeat of what we saw throughout the day today. Then you check those overnight lows, and that is when Josh said you might be needing a sweatshirt. You might even be needing a light jacket, especially as you get towards Sunday, those lows dipping down below freezing as we ramp up for a potential snow and ice maker on Monday. That turns to mostly slush and then rain as we get towards Tuesday. Thankfully, it's looking a lot like after Tuesday. We will continue to warm up steadily, reaching maybe even the 70s as we get towards later next week.
That does it this evening for our broadcast. Thanks for watching. For Zach and I'm Serenity Prophet.
And I'm Joshua Herner. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. Have a great night.
on the precipice of a great discovery.